Hi, my name is Neil Wilcox. I'm head of Fiserv's corporate social responsibility function. And on behalf of Fiserv, I am honored to be here with you today to celebrate and recognize the important work of our first responders and to thank them for their service.
County Police and Fire.
Yes, ma'am. It seemed like something underground, everything
Okay,
exploded
are you able
down.
to get out through the staircase?
I don't know, there's a lot of smoke going on.
Low hazard building collapse at 88th Street, College Avenue. Unit step by for dispatch.
I can't see nothing but smoke. Oh my God!
You know, we just focus. I mean, the minute I got there, it's more, okay, we're working, what exactly we're doing, and how we can continue to evolve the situation. So it's more than focusing at that moment, what's at hand and what do we need to do. You know, we have a building standing, it's in the middle of the night, not sure the magnitude of the collapse. This building that's still standing, is it going to remain standing? You know, so multiple. You always hear about secondary collapses, tertiary collapses. So right off the bat, that's going through your mind. You know, our brave men and women of Miami-Dade Fire Rescue in harm's way, you know, definitely trying to, you know, mitigate the situation. Arriving and seeing individuals on the balconies calling for help, that's one of the first initial responses, is setting up those units to then platforms, we would say, and that way raise up to that floor, the floor below, and then have our firefighters go onto the balcony or go into the building and help assist remove those individuals.
Immediately, I had the chance to see people who were so expert at dealing with crisis. Our fire department, our police department, they were so well trained and so prepared for dealing with other disasters that they were able to quickly organize and galvanize themselves. Searching relentlessly in the rubble for the first 2 weeks, hoping for survivors, and then the remaining 2 weeks until we found remains for all of the 98 victims. They searched as though they were searching for their own loved ones, and really they did it with love.
No, the whole back is gone. The buildings are now.
The whole site was taken over by Miami-Dade homicide detectives, and these are people that I'd worked with, men and women that I'd worked with before as a former prosecutor. And then first responders came in. You know, the teams that came in were also men and women that I knew, incredibly brave. And then all of a sudden, they came in from everywhere.
People came to it with such resolve, with such passion, with such goodwill that we had no disagreements. And these were families in such distress, in denial, in desperation, of course going through a process of anger, and wanting to be sure that we were communicating with them everything that we could about the truth of the situation, giving them hope. It was very difficult to be sure to think through from their perspective what we could do to help them in this time of great need.
Usually when we had some crime that we were investigating or some scene that we were showing up to, there was a bad guy to point to right away, or a suspect you were looking for right away. And that was sort of different about this dynamic. And perhaps it contributed to having a nonpartisan, sort of non-political kind of response for everybody to this. There really was no bad guy of any particular party or side or affiliation with which to point to.
They were unified. They were devoted to the single common purpose. We learned a lot from the IDF forces. They learned from our forces.
As you know, they've been fighting these fires all night.
It became clear that the tower was unstable, that it was shifting. And it became clear that it was the brace for the rubble pile, and that we could not, at a certain point, continue the search efforts right close to the building.
This is an ABC News special report.
Good evening. We begin with breaking news tonight, and word just moments ago that the storm named Elsa is now a hurricane, with
Actually increasing along I-75. And
there was multiple challenges from the onset, and all throughout. We had to deal with a deep-seated fire, during our efforts, smoke issues during our efforts, inclement weather all throughout. So we had severe thunderstorms, in Florida. At any given time, you encounter that.
A large chunk of the building is still standing, and at any time, with heavy winds or with rain or more water intrusion.
It was exhausting. It was hot, it was raining, there was smoke, there was fire, and yet they did not give up. They pursued the goal.
All our firefighters that responded were heroes. I think everybody, that responded in some form or fashion, all the support, I think everyone involved in this is heroes.
They were prepared. They could understand and accept the inevitability. Remains had been identified of all 98 victims, allowing some sort of closure. And then the pile of rubble was moved to another site where we continue to search.
To each and every one of you, from the bottom of my heart, you have shown the world what superheroes look like.